Crypto was on the dead, momentum gone, sentiment totally wrecked in the crypto space. Then President Trump tweeted one tweet that changed everything in a flash. We all know Trump dropped or officially announced the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, revealing alongside it his top picks. And the market completely rallied over this news. Some feel these altcoins that he chose to be part of the strategic reserve were to be expected, but some have many people surprised or questioning it, but there definitely seems to be a pattern behind the altcoins he chose. And if we can figure out the formula behind why he's selecting the altcoins he is to be part of this strategic reserve, then it's very likely we can front run his next picks. So if you want to know which coin or coins may be next, then this show is for you. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica and I'm so happy you're here today. And without further ado, let us jump into today's show. Okay, starting off with Bitcoin's price, as we do, we can see that it's pumping. It has pumped ever since the announcement of the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. As of the time of this video, we're looking at a Bitcoin around 92, wanting to make its way up to 93,000, as you can see on the screen here. So this is very, very exciting. And I'm so happy this happened because we had so many people questioning the market, questioning where we were in light of the market, and just total Debbie Downers. Oh my gosh, it was so severe that I'm so happy it's over, because I knew, and I said it in my past videos, that I did not think that somebody as bullish on Bitcoin, somebody that understands, and who I'm speaking of, President Trump, I just couldn't imagine somebody like him who knows how to pump the market, who knows how to use X, who knows how to use social media and has a whole team behind moving the market. I just couldn't imagine someone like him who understands the severity and the importance, which will in today's video. I couldn't imagine how, after understanding how important Bitcoin is to the world and in securing true financial liberty, as his financial company is called, World Liberty, and that's what Bitcoin really represents, is literal and true financial liberty for the people away from the top 1%ers that have been controlling the world. So I just couldn't see how he would just let this, let the market dump. I just couldn't see it. And I'm so happy that he released his news over the weekend, of all things, when the stock market is closed, but the crypto market's still going. I thought that was so beautiful. He didn't allow the markets to the global market makers to have anything to do with it, right? So that is very, very interesting. But if you're watching my video in the US, then you'll probably be seeing this video at the time of market open. So we'll have to see what happens, right? But anyway, extremely bullish for the crypto space. And here, as you can see, this is on Donald Trump's social media platform, Truth Social, that he started after he was initially banned from Twitter a long time ago. So this is his official tweet where he says, post, where he says, a US crypto reserve will elevate this critical industry after years of corrupt attacks by the Biden administration, which is why my executive order on digital assets directed by the Presidential Working Group to move forward on a crypto strategic reserve that includes XRP, SOL, and ADA. Remember these names, ADA. I will make sure that the US is the crypto capital of the world. We're making America great again. And then he later commented on his own post saying that, of course, it's also going to include Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is a no-brainer. So he didn't think he had to announce it in his original post because it's called the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve for a reason. So of course, Bitcoin was going to be included, and of course, Ethereum. So guys, this moved the market, as you can imagine. And then this is just a quick little clip. I'm just trying to get you caught up to date with everything, just in case you missed a bit of news here and there. But this is Jim Cramer interviewing President Trump, asking him at the New York Stock Exchange if they were going to do, here, let me just play it, and then you can hear it yourself so I don't mess it up.
In crypto, very different from the previous administration. Strategic petroleum reserve like for crypto?
Yeah, I think so. We're going to do something great with crypto because we don't want China or anybody else, not just China, but others are embracing it, and we want to be the head. We're going to be ahead of AI. We're going to be way ahead of AI, and we've got to produce tremendous amounts of electricity. You know that it's unbelievable when you think that we need more than twice what we already have. If you think that's pretty for a specific industry, but we'll be able to do it. We have Lee Zeldin in charge of the environment. He's going to be giving us.
So now he's talking about the energy required, of course, to keep up with AI and even Bitcoin, right? That's a conversation is on mining and how to do it sustainably, etc. So anyway, there you heard it yourself. And as you can see, this is by Banter Bubbles, by the Banter team. This is the daily bubble chart, I will call it. And you can see the market is in all green. So this is wild. It's just amazing, isn't it? How the market just turns from one second to the other. That's why you have to know what you're holding and you have to see pumps and dumps. Well, first you have to make sure you're secured. You have to have enough in stablecoin reserves. Make sure you have your own livelihood and everything you need for your life on the monthly basis, have your savings. All of that has to be separate from what you invest into crypto. But aside from that, you then need to know why you're holding what you're holding so that you can not be scared when the market is shaken. So anyway, what I'm going to play for you now is by Michael Saylor at CPAC being interviewed, and it's so brilliant. It's about 20 some minutes. I'm not going to play it all for you, but here, let's take a listen.
The U.S. could own 20% of the network like that for free. The dollar would strengthen, the nation would be enriched. And the real promise is if you own 4 to 6 million Bitcoin, you're going to pay off the entire national debt. You're going to neutralize it. We can generate a $50 trillion to $80 trillion benefit to the United States people, to the citizens, to the taxpayers, and we can do it simply by seeing the future. It cost $6 million to buy Alaska. The payoff was $1 trillion. Just like right now, you can literally buy it for a song and dance. That's the opportunity. The risk is that you wouldn't want the Saudis to buy it first, or the Russians, or the Chinese, or the Europeans. And there's only room for one nation state to buy up 20% of the network. And obviously, I think it should be the United States. I think it will be the United States. It's a way for us to enrich ourselves and emerge as a creditor nation in a matter of a decade. It's also a way for us to ensure that we're the economic leaders in cyberspace and the digital economy for the next 100 years. And if we do that, every one of our allies will follow us, and then all of our enemies will end up having to buy into the network once it passes 10 or 20 million a coin, and they will enrich us.
And we saw that just yesterday. President Trump was in Miami, and he was talking about Bitcoin. The Bitcoin
I'll pause it there. But as you heard, I know he got, he entered delicate territory speaking about, China shouldn't own it and Russia shouldn't own it. I always worry a little bit when I hear people, in powerful positions speak negatively about other countries because they're all listening, right? Everyone's listening to each other. But anyway, you heard it yourself. The potential is huge. The US could completely neutralize its debt and secure itself as a financial superpower over the whole world. That would be very good. This is a whole other topic, and it's not just this, American supremacy sort of standpoint, because I am American as well. It's more than that. And it's a whole other conversation, so I won't get into it, but it is a rabbit hole. But there's great significance in keeping the US as the world's superpower. It really is. Anyway, let's keep moving forward. That said, as you can read here, we have China now working double time to stand up their own strategic Bitcoin reserve. We now know the race is on. Everyone's feeling the fire under their butts, and it's going to be very interesting to see. That said, I believe this week is going to be very bullish. We know that on Friday, there's going to be the first crypto summit. Let's keep moving on so you can see what I am talking about. Here you go. This was released by Eleanor Terrett, who's the journalist and producer at Fox Business. And she announces it here, right? The White House and Donald Trump will host their first ever crypto summit next Friday, March 7th. Featuring CEOs, investors, and members of the Presidential Working Group on Digital Assets, including David Sachs, of course, and Bo Hines, who I am not familiar with. But that said, we know how it is, right? That's one of the main sort of powers behind news is that it's a bit of a teaser, right? It gets everyone excited. That in itself is going to pump the market. So I wouldn't be surprised if this whole week leading up to Friday will be a very, very bullish week. And not to be a party pooper, but I do want to, as much as possible, share both sides of the coin with you, not just be somebody that is, always not someone that is only going to share the best news with you or the potential to make money, not somebody that's only going to, be pumping things up, but somebody that shows you both sides. So that said, Gumshoe here on X kind of said it, right? Just to make sure that we don't get lost in the euphoria of today's move. Remember that the higher we go pre-summit, leading up to this Friday, the higher the expectations will be for whatever is announced or released this Friday at the summit. That's just the way people work. So if for whatever reason, come Friday, there isn't some big news, there is the potential of the market reacting negatively. Some people are just going to choose to cash out of certain positions or just take some money off the table because they know the market is going to pump leading up until Friday. So I'm letting you know as well, so you know in advance that this may very likely happen. It doesn't mean the market's going to dump on Friday at all, but it is definitely some people will be taking some profits on Friday. I'm just going to call it. I definitely think some people will be taking profits, but not the true believers. People who know, and you definitely should never cash out of Bitcoin. You should only hold your Bitcoin, and every altcoin that was announced to be part of the Bitcoin strategic reserve, Solana, ADA, right, Ethereum, XRP, and Bitcoin, starting with Bitcoin, these are now officially like golden blue chips, I would even say. So do not sell those. Just do not. But some people that don't know any better might. Anyway, let's keep moving on. I just thought I would let you know because that's more or less how things work in the market. And if we take a look at where we're at, just in terms of general timeline, we definitely know that the Trump administration has been keeping its promises to us. We know that they freed Ross. Basically, the war on crypto has ended. Now there's a crypto strategic reserve being announced, et cetera, right? The government is cutting down on waste through Doge, which we know is causing ripples throughout like all sorts of pockets of people and the political landscape. People don't like it, and I don't blame them to a large extent. It's like having a stranger come into your house and start reorganizing your house, which I've paid for in the past, and this is actually a huge help sometimes to have a professional come in and do their job, but it could also get you very upset, right? So I don't blame the people that are upset about it. Anyway, we've had so many promises that the Trump administration made everybody being delivered on. So as Pentoshi here wraps it up, hate him or love him, this is what we asked for and promised. Those promises have been kept. He is a flawed person, no doubt. He's a very real person. But things could have been far worse. And that's exactly right. So these are historic days that we're living. It's literally marvelous to witness all the change that needed to happen from the top down and down up and just in all angles. It's really quite remarkable, the days that we're living through. So anyway, let's keep going through today's news. And then we have Bullrun Gravano, who's a voice in the crypto space as well, also outlining to us, basically saying, these are the steps to the greatest bull run of all time. 1, create a crypto reserve. 2, enforce zero capital gains tax on crypto. 3, remove all income tax. And 4, abolish the IRS. So we are well on our way, guys. And that's the main message that I wanted to bring to you today on Monday, especially after, the weeks that we've had in the crypto space, was just that it was not over. So when this happened, I was so happy and relieved and not surprised, frankly. Just not surprised. So wonderful. But anyway, let's take a look at the tokens, the altcoins that were selected to be part of this crypto strategic reserve. And as you can see, the tokens that were chosen have some of the largest market caps. So no, and they're all made in the USA. So frankly, I don't know who has been questioning it. We're going to get into that just in a little bit here, I'll share. But some people have been so surprised, like, what is the magic formula behind, the altcoins that were selected? Why XRP? Why ADA? Cardano? Why Solana? And if you've been in crypto for some time, then you would know why. Basically, the criteria is very simple, like made in the US, large market caps, been around for a long time. And then, of course, a lot of these projects and their founders were donors to the Trump administration. But I think that's a bit of like a potato, or what came first, the chicken or the egg sort of scenario, because a lot of these crypto founders for these altcoins supported the Trump administration because the Trump administration was going to be pro-crypto. So obviously they were going to support him. And then now they are reaping the benefits of supporting him, but they really had no choice. They had to support Trump. They had to support a crypto-friendly administration because that's their bloodline. They needed that in order to continue doing business in the US. Everyone was being chased out. So really there should be no surprise as to why the projects that were selected, the altcoins that were selected. As you can see here, this is what I mean, like people posting questions like this. This is by Intern on X, and they say, can we have a little transparency into how XRP, Sol, and ADA were chosen for the reserve? LOL. Like, did they have a discussion about this, or did they just poll 10,000 Uber drivers and called it a day? So just that last statement shows you that they are very new, and I mean no disrespect to this person, but it's just if you and so I guess if you're new and you're watching this, then I'll explain it very clearly, right? Like, who would you invest in? Would you invest in a new business that just popped up and you don't know the owner, you don't know if they have business experience, you don't know, like, they hardly have a storefront, you don't know, like, you have very little reason to invest in that small startup as you would opposed to a corner store, say, that has been around for 1 or 2, 3 years and has a great store, and every time you go is fantastic, and they seem to be growing and they seem to be improving. And, it's a very, very easy to decipher this. It's only somebody who was really new, I think, to crypto would not understand why these altcoins were chosen. But that said, Solana being one of the altcoins that were chosen to be part of the strategic reserve. This is them here. You can see they've been pumping well over the last 24 hours. No surprise there. And then this video clip, this is just, like crypto market sentiment right now.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We are back. Classic. We are back. We are back.
It's so crazy, but that's generally the feeling everyone has in crypto right now that's been here for a little bit. So anyway, here we can see who all the key donors were. Some people simplify, and I don't blame them. For those that simplify, they reduce the list of crypto companies to be included in the crypto strategic reserve just simply down to, because they donated to the Trump campaign. But it's not that simple. It's absolutely not that simple. So I'm going to graze over it. There's absolutely a correlation, but that's, as I said, it's because they had to support, and of course they were going to support a candidate that was going to be friendly, like proposed crypto-friendly regulation. And like it's all very, very easy and clear to decipher. So this is XRP. This is the second crypto altcoin made in America, large market cap token that's going to be included. And this is an interesting one because I have not been the biggest supporter of Ripple or XRP, just being transparent. I was not, because I didn't like how they were selling on their own community. But I'm going to go personally, just so you know how I'm handling this. I'm not holding any XRP right now, but it may make sense. Like I may end up buying some because it makes sense now. It's going to go into the crypto strategic reserve, and this is now like the Hall of Fame. So full transparency, probably will be. And then here, this is Charles Hodgkinson. If you're not familiar with who he is because you're new to the crypto space, he is the founder of ADA, which is Cardano, and they have a huge community, and that's the main winning factor behind their success. And the fact and then they were working closely with the Trump administration, and they were also donors, I believe. So anyway, this is Charles Hodgkinson. I'll retweet it. So if you want to go watch it on your own, it's on my X account, Crypto by Jess, and you can listen to it. But he's a very intelligent, very intelligent man. And I actually met him, when was it, in Singapore, Token 2049. He's now working on he has some awesome side projects that he's working on as well. Very brilliant. I'm not questioning him at all. But yeah, he built a very loyal community, I think mainly because he does these weekly addresses like this, like nothing shiny, nothing fancy. He's like a professor, you know, he loves like the technical aspect of what he's building. But this is no surprise, frankly. The Cardano community is so strong, so loyal. So in many ways, I feel like they deserve it. But anyway, this is Cardano. If you want to go check them out on CoinGecko. Also been doing very well in the last 24 hours, which is no surprise. Have not been holding Cardano either, full disclosure, but now I probably will, because it just makes sense. Like they just handed us like the blue book and like the formula. And if you want to own crypto projects that will for sure do well in the long run and pretty much forever, unless for some reason they get revoked, these are them. Like these are them. So anyway, this is the criteria made in the US, because it's the American Bitcoin and crypto strategic reserve, right? So being an American project is a criteria. So obviously, just look at the top ones: XRP, Solana, Cardano. So that said, we have our eyes on Chainlink next. Chainlink very well may end up being included in time. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. And if we take a look at the Coinbase 50 index, all of these altcoins are also listed in the as one of the top 5 virtually, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Cardano. And it's funny, right below it is Dogecoin and then Chainlink. So I have my eyes on Chainlink personally. And there's obviously a correlation with the tokens inside of Trump's personal crypto fund company called World Liberty Financial Holdings, as I was mentioning earlier. So there's a correlation, and you can see that in World Liberty's holdings, they have Chainlink. So watch out for Chainlink. It very likely may end up in the strategic reserve. And this is Chainlink now. I am a significantly big holder of Chainlink and love Chainlink. So I will be very excited to see Chainlink listed. But okay, guys, that's a wrap for today's video. Nice and short, or hopefully you thought so. And yeah, exciting days is all I'm going to say. Exciting days. Look out for a very bullish week, and let's see how things go. And I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Ciao.